Good morning to one and all present. Today, myself Harshit Singh Chauhan and my colleagues Akash Khare, Ankit Tanad, Ankit Kushwaha, Bobby Motwani, Navdeep Singh, Ritti Devedi, Shreyanshi Shukla will be unwrapping the Satyam Computer Limited scam. Covering the basics, a fraud or scam is a failure to act with intention of obtaining an unauthorized benefit, either for self or a institution, using false means or representation. A fraud is a mistake. A fraud is not a mistake. It's done with intentions for false gain. A fraud impact an organization with loss of goods, money, reputation, and goodwill. The talking about Satyam Limited, it was established on 24th June 1987 by Mr. B. Ramalinga Raju and his brother in Hyderabad, working in information technology sector, providing all range services like software solutions, system management, system management, mm, management and development, engineering solutions, enterprise business solutions, business process outsourcing, and more. Satyam operated on a uh, global level, offering its services in 55 countries with more than 30,000 employees, serving 500 plus companies, including 150 of Fortune 500 companies. Company in Bombay Stock Exchange in 1991 over 7 times oversubscription. With the success of Satyam, the company growth was unstoppable. It was growing on an average of 13% year over year. Uh, but growth was a illusion created by Ramaraju with false speculation in financial statement of the company. Speculation in a financial statement of the company. Ramalinga did and deliberately he increased the profits and bank amount using his computer and paying the auditors more than the deserving one. Ramaraju used tools like paying salary to unexisting employees, not showing a correct statement in correct amount in bank statements, making false bills and sales. Over time, Ramaraju took 1.1 billion out of company for his own means, uh, taking many corrections to make falsification. His actions were not reversed. He took full responsibility for the scam on January 7, 2009 by writing a letter to SEBI. After the declaration of scam, the company shares fall by 77% in Bombay Stock Exchange. Then the government and SEBI took initiative to guide the company under it. The Tech Mahindra purchased 51% of the shares uh, on in auctions. From then, the company is growing anonymously and a profit of and have a revenue of 5.3 billion in 2020 with 1 lakh 25 thousand employees working and 900 plus clients serving worldwide. That's all from my side. Moving on, Shreyanshi will be explaining the rise of Satya.
The rise of Satyam. In 1987, the Satyam computer was launched in Hyderabad. The Satyam Computer Services was a rising star in Indian outsourced IT services by Raju Foundation and the Satyam Foundation. They have earned a reputation. They have earned some reputation through the various projects. Major project is especially by 108 medical emergency in Andhra Pradesh and other cities. The Satyam was an example of Indian growing service. Now coming to 1991, In 1991, Satyam won its first Fortunate 500 climb. First Fortunate 500 climb. Raju navigated Indian bureaucracy to obtain and require the clearance to transmit data for India. The company went public in 1992. 1994, the big break. Satyam got its big break in a line with the Dune and Breakstreet Corporation. The partnership was short-lived, but the time ended, and Satyam was well to grow on its way. Now coming to 2000, declare one of the 100-preneur technology and company by the World Economic Forum. In Fab, in May 2000, the Satyam became the first organization in the world launched the customer orientation and global organization training. Uh, Mr. Rama awarded by the Data Quest IT Man in the year 2000. In 2001, the companies get listed in NYSE. It means New York Stock Exchange. In 2007, Mr. Rama got Golden Peacock Award uh, for for World Corporate Governance. So coming to 2008, it remained fourth largest fastest growing IT company in India. Uh, it it remains fourth largest Asian company in India. The Satyam revenue crossed over 2 billion. The company decided to mm, decided to buy Meta and Meta's infrastructure. Next slide will be continued by Preeti Devi.
Thank you so much, Shreyanshi. So my topic is scam, when and how. So on January 7, 2009, Mr. Raju, the chairman of Satyam Computers, wrote a letter to the board of directors in which he confessed that he was manipulating the accounts of the Satyam Computers for many years, in which he stated that he overstated assets 1.47 billion, which was more than the actual figure. Then 1.4 billion bank and loans which were never existed, that he mentioned. No liabilities on the company he mentioned, but this was not the actual figure. Then he also created many false accounts, and also he inflated balance sheets and income statements of the Satyam Computers. And the internal audit made the fake customer IDs and also fake invoices. They also make 6,000 fake salary accounts, and he also mentioned in his letter that he inflated balance sheet and the income statement as it is shown in the table. So he recorded cash and bank balance in the book of rupees 5,361 crores, which was not the actual figure. And actual figure was 321 crores. And then he recorded accrued interest on bank of these 376.5 crores, which was not existed. Then he recorded no liabilities on the company, but it was not the actual figure. The actual figure was 1,230 crores. Then he also overstated debtors, which was 2,651 crores, and at the actual figure was 2,161 crores. And for September quarter year 2009, he reported revenue and operating profit 2,700 crores and 649 crores, which was not the actual figure. The actual figure was 2,112 crores and 61 crores. This resulted in artificial cash and bank balances up by the 588 crores in quarter two alone. This gap in the balance sheet was increased due to the inflated profits made by the company for many years. And it was all started in 1999 when Raju began to inflate the profit to meet the analyst expectations and to buy the real estate properties. And in the beginning, the balance sheet difference and the balance sheet profit difference and the actual profit difference was very less. But due to increase in time and the operations of Satyams increased, the gap was also increased. And due to this, Mr. Raju confessed his fraud. That's all from my side. Now Navdeep will continue.
So, what were the auditor role in scam? The global auditing firm PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers audited their accounts from June 2000 to June 2000 to 2009, and it is almost 9 years that they did not identify the fraud going on, whereas another firm, Merrill Lynch, discovered its fraud in just 10 days. Uh, and it is also Satyam also paying them twice the amount fee they charged, and whereas other firm were uh, uh, taking fees less in a half price. So it's all raises the questions about whether PwC with also with Satyam helping in fraud. Satyam is claiming that they have a 1.4 billion dollar bank in cash in balance sheet. According to some professional accountants, it is said that if a company have that much of amount in their bank, they would either invested it somewhere or in or they deposited into interest bearing account, whereas they didn't show that, and they can also distribute the cash towards the shareholder, but they didn't do so. And auditor also not verify the banks in which they have deposited the money. So all these shows that the auditor role in scam, and investors of various other companies also worry about their investment in in other companies where the PwC audited their account, and this also causes the PwC auditors were scrutined, and and they were fined them. So that's from my side, and further Bobby will continue.
Thank you, Navdeep. Now let us see who were impacted. When any scam is happens, there are several people who are affected to it. Same goes with the Satyam scam. Now let us see my first point, that is employees. Employees were affected by non-payment of salaries, projects cancellations, and they were affected by morally and financially. Now clients. Clients, they expressed loss of trust in the company and they revived their contract and giving it to their competitors. Shareholders are the owners of the company. They lost their valuable investment in the companies. Bankers were concerned about their reputation of the bank and recovery of losses. That Indian government was worried about its image of the world nation, that no IT sector is interested to doing business in the company. Next slide. Now let us see what were the impacts. My first point is that over 50,000 employees were affected, whose jobs were left. After this scam, the Indian global image was destroyed, and there was a biggest single day fall of 175 rupees, and Satyam Computers was removed from Nifty and NFC. Now, PwC was suspended, and it revoked their license to do this to audit. Now, I would like to call Ankit on Nidais.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. So, what is Metas? Metas is the reverse name of Satyam. Is a company owned by Raju's son, Metas Infra and Metas Property. Raju wanted to take over his Metas Infra and Metas Property. Mehta's Infra was incorporated on 6th May 1988 as Satyam Construction Private Limited by Ramalinga. It was renewed Mehta's Infra in July 1988. It raised rupees 327 crore through an initial public offering in February 2007 by selling shares with a face value of rupees 10 at a premium of rupees 360. Ramalinga Raju's son, Teja Raju, was a vice chairman of the company. Now, talking about the Mehta's property, was incorporated on 13 May 2005 as Mehta's Hill Country Limited by Raju's son, younger son, Rama Raju. It nomenclature changed to Mehta's property in December 2007. Till 2009, Mehta's Infra individually and through Point Venture Partners had one order worth over rupees 30,000 crores across road, irrigation, and rail project individually. Over 12,000 crore Hyderabad Metro Rail and rupees 1,600 crore deep water port at since 2004. The Andhra Pradesh government had awarded irrigation project worth rupees 14,000 crore to Mehtas and had paid rupees 1,800 crore for the work. Uh, about the regulatory part after Raju revelation about the accounting fraud. New board members was appointed and they started working. Indian officially acted quickly to turn to try to save Satyam from the same fate that met Aaron and WorldCom. When they experienced large accounting scandals, the Indian government immediately started an investigation while at the same time limiting its direct participation with Satyam because it did not want to appear like it was responsible for the fraud or attempting to cover up the fraud. The board goal was to sell the company within 100 days. To accomplish the sale, the board hired a golden man search and charged them with selling the company in the short time. While the mid-March, SEBI appointed a retired Supreme Court Justice Barucha to overseeing the process. Then Tech Mahindra bought Satyam for $1.13 per share. Then, in the aftermath of Satyam industry market recovered and Satyam now lives on. Tech Mahindra purchased 51% of Satyam shares on April 2009, then successfully saving the firm from the complete collapse. That's all from my side. Now, Akash will continue.
Thank you so much, Ankit. Now I will explain the conclusion of this case. My first point is reason of fraud. Greed for money, power, competition, success, and prestige compelled Mr. Raju to tiger. Ride the tiger, which led to valuation of the all duties, imposed them all the fiduciaries. All the federal duty of care, the duty of loyalty, the duty of closure toward the stakeholder, and lack of transparency, nature of accounting rules, internal and external audit failures, weak independent directors. That's all reason behind the scam. Second point is government corporate governance issue at Satyam. On a quarterly basis, Satyam earning grow. Mr. Raju admitted that fraud which is committed amounted to nearly $276 million. The Satyam scam had been the example for the following two poor corporate governance practice. It had failure to show good relation with the shareholders and employee. Next is how this fraud can be controlled. If a company claims it have cash on its hand, then auditor should be check whether cash is hand available or not. There need to be a physical verification of assets on what the company. But PwC did not perform this for even a large sum of 5,014 crore rupees. It would be not have been fraud if PwC had done their work honestly. And every company has also internal audit. If the internal auditor had acted honestly, then such fraud could be have been prevented and board had ensured the transparency in company that financial disclosure and financial statement provided true picture. Thank you. This all my side.